All right, so I got some notes this time, and we're gonna try to keep this organized. Uh, Stress. Any epileptic knows stress. There's plenty of stress, and being one that has lived with this for 30 years now, going on 31 in April. It's very stressful. Every seizure, every twitch, it piles up on your plate, and you just have to learn to deal. I have a whole video on that about called coping with epilepsy. Uh, work work is very difficult. Um, some people have seizures much less frequently. Like uh, I've come to understand like grand mal patients, they have seizures like monthly or almost annually, and a grand mal seizures are nothing to joke about, but it, they get a hold of a job. Um, my seizures are some little devils, and I have about 4 a day, and sometimes 20 a night. So right now I cannot hold a job. But when it comes to jobs, you have equal employment opportunity, and I believe it's called ADA. I forget what that stands for. And, school is another one on my list here. Um, School was not easy for me at all. Like school was when I was working out a lot of my meds. I was I was on doses, on high doses, low doses. I was on new meds, old meds. So it was a hot mess. Triggers. A lot of people have so many different triggers. Triggers can vary from photosensitivity to a sound. Like if you just hear a sound, I've heard people can actually just hear something or smell something and have a seizure. It's the strangest thing, but triggers are triggers, and your brain's a brain. Your brain is a mess of electrical noodles. Well, not noodles, it's more like Jello. Um, so I mean, it's all interlaced. One spark goes to the next, and bam, seizure. So don't surprise yourself. Um, friends, friends and family, I addressed here. Um, they're very important, obviously, for many reasons. You should inform your friends. Um, I told my friends as soon as I met them, I'm like, guys, I have epilepsy. I'm like, if I go down, do this, don't do that. Um, and I gave them the protocol, just protect my head. Um, and I'm just gonna keep it short and sweet and leave it at that. And meeting new people, like in general, if you want to go on a date, if you're swiping on Tinder, meeting new people, professional epileptic is also my Instagram description. Um, you just you can't shut yourself up in like a nutshell and expect to meet somebody. Yeah, you either have to like go online and be active in like Reddit communities or Twitter or any other social media, and and participate, and or go out if you can, drive if you can, and go meet some people. uh, Meeting new people is great. Following that is driving and traveling. uh Driving and traveling in general, so like um I would much rather be driven somewhere because I can't drive, than walk, uh, as in travel. Um, because if if I were to have like a seizure on the side of the road, that would be bad news bears. Um, so like right now, like I either I ask my parents or like a friend if I could get a ride somewhere, and it's usually a non-issue, but yeah, it's it gets in the way. It's one of the biggest problems of mine. Doctors and how doctors act. A lot of new people with epilepsy get mad at the doctors. And I've seen this in a lot of places. My face hurts because I hit the ground. So doctors aren't there to, they're not there to babysit you or like tell you you're beautiful, although you might be. Okay. They're there to treat you. They're there to treat your epilepsy. Um, I have, I had a doctor a while ago, and he was just very blunt. He was just so blunt. He was a great doctor, but terrible bedside manner, like awful. So I ended up leaving him, and actually, I'm going to loop around and go see him again. That's how the world works. I grew up to a big boy. Um, oh, on the topic of doctors, so you may or may not know I have an RNS implant. And one of my doctors was like, he's like, well, at this rate, he's like, I'll consider you an RNS failure. And that hit home. Like when that I have this computer implanted in my head, and my doctors told me I'm an RNS failure, and it it hurt. It hurt for like 2 weeks. It was like burning at me, and you just some doctors approach things differently. Um, the beginning is this little blurb I got here. In the beginning, it all started for me when I was 3 years old, and I got a dysplasia right there, about center, but it's like off right there. It's about the size of a quarter, and it's all topical. But it's just a misgrowth of cells, and this little misgrowth of cells, um, has had me having seizures for 30 years, and the options my doctors have and doctors and surgeons have given me, they're like, well, we could cut it out, and but chances are, it'll reconnect, and it'll you'll have seizures again. I'm like, well, what good is that? And the other dude's like, he's like, well, we could use laser ablation, and just literally laser it off my head, and like taking part of my brain with it. And he's like, but chances are it's gonna come back. And I'm like, well, god damn it. And it's just wasn't promising, but the RNS device was supposed to be the promising one. Teachers, like the whole school system is screwed up. When I was in school, like I graduated in 2017. Um, no, whenever I had a seizure, my teachers were just totally blown away, especially my science teacher for some reason. Um, like there was a few times where I actually hit the floor. Well, there's actually multiple times, but I would just tell them like, hey, teach, like I just had a seizure. Um, can I go to the nurse? And they're like, yeah, yeah, yeah. Take whoever, or they would just tell me to walk by myself. Like they didn't know. It's amazing. And just recently, I've read something like epilepsy awareness is coming into school systems. Like finally, 2021. Hey, but epilepsy awareness is the reason I stream. It's the reason I have this channel, and it's the reason I'm still talking. It's just people need to be educated enough to know what to do, and most people aren't, and it's scary, honestly. And if I give out a few tips that help, terrific. Thanks for watching.